Hello, today I am going to talk about some of the uses and share some of the information about the stone, the mineral known as jade. So I have a piece of it here. It can come in actually quite a few different colours, predominantly green, and then obviously many different shades and tones of green. So you'll often find this stone in places like US, China, Italy, Burma, New Zealand, the Middle East, Guatemala. And if you were to measure its vibration, so that's the speed at which the mineral would move, it can be considered quite high. But again, it would depend on the type of jade as well in regards to what kind of measurements what the measurements would show in regards to the speed of the vibration. So the physiology that people often may find this stone to be beneficial for would be the kidney, skeletal systems and cellular systems as well. And when we're talking in regards to energy points or energy places within spaces in the body, chakras as people may call it, often this space, so the heart is often the main area in which this stone works quite well with. Again, that depends also on the colour. So different colours may work well with other energy centres. And in regards to cleansing the stone, I have found that it can go through all types of cleansing, although you may wish to do some further research just to check on that one. Again, because it can depend on the kind of jade that you have. Now, what I really love about this stone, and I have a really lovely relationship with this stone, because I am actually from the lands known as Aotearoa, or the South Island of New Zealand, and we call it Pounamu. So we have our own te reo Māori label or name, title for the stone, and traditionally it is something that would be gifted to you from another person. It's not something that you would obtain for oneself. Now, often it would have been used and carved, should I say, into things like particular tools. So tools would, could be cutting different things. It could also be used as a weapon, so tools in that sort of regard. And also jewellery or like adornment or representation of particular figures within societies and communities. And the particular area of Aotearoa that I lived there for 14 years, it is the most prominent place in which you can find this stone. And so we could find it quite often on the beach and at the river and creek mouths going out to the ocean, but even further inland as well, in the creek and river beds, you would find it. So Titai Platini, if I can remember that correctly, it's the west coast of the South Island being Aotearoa, the land of the long white cloud in New Zealand. And I do remember that we would find it, and I remember being gifted a really beautiful piece actually by my father, and it was beautifully carved and sanded down just from many years of being in the ocean and being washed with the water. And I do remember I gifted it to a friend, and then sometime later the same friend gifted me this piece, which is a different shape and a different kind of jade than the one that I had. So it was it was a beautiful piece, and I'll never forget that piece that my father gave me. And who knows where it is now? That friend has travelled around to the other side of the world. So it'll be travelling on. Anyway, that's a side story. So obviously it's not just found in Aotearoa. Other cultures and people, they have other meanings such as prosperity, It can be quite cleansing, can encourage self-sufficiency, creativity, harmony, integration of the mind and the body, releasing limiting beliefs and opening up the mind to new possibilities. Can be quite good for attracting and prosperity and good health. Some people and cultures have used it as a dream stone, and certain prominent people within their societies would use it to help with, a passing on in a very peaceful way, so it could encourage a peaceful, smooth and graceful death. And then, if you look at some of the sort of deities in some cultures, some more ancient cultures, there's like a Roman goddess, earth goddess of fertility that's often associated with this stone. I think there's an Aztec water and life goddess that's associated with the stone, often Kuan Yin, which is a Chinese deity and or person that once was here potentially. There's an Egyptian goddess of justice, Maat, M-A-A-T, as well, is also associated with the stone. And Bridget is another goddess or deity that's associated with the stone. So it's quite prominent in a lot of cultures around the world, this beautiful jade. And I just love it. For me, it just always sort of reminds me of the birthland, or my birthland. And I just felt really cool to just come on and share that with you today. And I'm getting lots of images of lots of beautiful pieces that I've seen in my life, and there are some really beautiful art studios in New Zealand. They do some amazing work with the stone, and then there's also a lot of beautiful carvers that are in their backyards and in their sheds who will carve up the stone as well, and to carry on the traditional stories and practices with this stone. And out of all of the stones that I have encountered in my life, this is the one that, for me personally, I have probably the deepest relationship with. And the main reason for that is because it's heavily associated with the birthlands of myself. So that is all that I felt sharing on regards to Jade or Pounamu today. And I'll be continuing on this series, so keep your eyes out for the next stone mineral vlog. I've also done some others as well, so you'll be able to find them in the playlist that I've created for all of these. And I will see you in the next vlog.